Okay, so I need to talk about Battlefield 6 because I have quite a lot to say on this game. They just released their Winter Offensive update. I've just played a couple games on the new variant of the map, and I have some thoughts on that, but I also just have some thoughts on the game as a whole that I really want to get off my chest. So, just jumping straight into this, let's just start with the Winter Offensive update. This update added a bunch of new challenges, skins, items that you can unlock, and also a new variant of Empire State, which basically adds snow. Now, first off, I want to say this looks amazing. The map itself looks incredible. The snow in this game, I don't remember what engine this is, but it just looks unbelievably incredible. With the New York setting as well, it just works so perfectly. And just the whole winter vibe where you're running around shooting people, reviving people, you got explosions and smokes popping off in the distance. It's just incredible. It looks visually incredible. And there's also a really cool mechanic with this update, which was actually unexpected and also just kind of works quite well. It's a cold mechanic, so the longer you spend outside, the more cold you become, and you have to find these fires that are around the map and kind of warm yourself up. It's a really cool mechanic. It creates some cool moments where I was warming up at one point, and then someone blew up the roof above me, like waiting for me. And then ended up killing me. That was cool. It's also cool just to see all of your teammates like huddle around a fire in the middle of like a big battle. It creates some fun moments. It's a neat little mechanic. It doesn't get too much in the way where it's like super annoying and you are constantly dying because of it or anything like that. I think it's well balanced. I think it works well. Um, but what I will say is that it doesn't live up to its full potential, and the reason for that is because of the map that they chose. Now, as I said, this is on Empire State, and if you don't know, this is the smallest map in Battlefield 6. It is tiny. It is basically two buildings and a little bit of an outside section surrounding it. It is basically this game's version of Metro, and I hate it. I hate this map. I played it a bunch in the beta, and I think I played it like 3 times in the full game since it released. I just can't stand it. This isn't what I play Battlefield for. There are no vehicles in this map. There is no epic destruction or anything like that. It is just a really tiny, I don't want to say it, but Call of Duty kind of map. It honestly sucks. So the fact that they chose to do this cool event on this map rubbed me the wrong way. Right at the start, when this was announced, I was already annoyed, and I kind of went in annoyed because again, you have this cool thing. The snow looks amazing. Everything looks great. And you have this cool cold mechanic where you have to stay indoors and you have to warm up by fires. But it doesn't really matter that much because the map is so tiny. There are fires all over the place. You can get indoors so easily. It never matters. And like I said, it doesn't make a difference in the gameplay to the sense that it becomes annoying. But it also just doesn't really make a difference in the gameplay because the map's just tiny. Now, I wouldn't have minded if they did this with more maps. If they picked maybe 3 maps to add snow to and threw it into a rotation, that would be cool. I would love that. I was kind of hoping, if they did anything like this when they finally added snow, because this game launched without any snow maps for some reason. When they finally did it, I was hoping it would be a brand new map, but it isn't. It's just a snow variant on the smallest map in the game. It just feels kind of lazy, and that's kind of how this whole season in general felt to me. Just very lazy. And to make matters worse, I've just noticed in the picture on Steam that they're using to announce this update, there's a helicopter in the background. There's no helicopters in this map. Why is there a helicopter in your promotional image? That's kind of false advertising. Now, one thing that did catch me off guard was that the snow outfits in this are actually free, at least some of them. You can unlock these snowy outfits through doing challenges in game. I don't know if they've been in since season 1. I really haven't played Battlefield 6 that much since season 1 dropped, but you can get these snow outfits through just doing challenges, which is nice. That's good. I was going to complain about pay to win when I first started playing because people were dressed in pure white and they blend in really well, especially when you're starting to freeze up. It's really difficult to see people with the snowy camo, but you can get them for free for doing challenges. I do kind of wish everyone just had the snowy outfits, right off the bat. It was forced into this on when you're playing this map, just to kind of balance it out, level it out a bit more, but whatever, it is what it is. At least they are free. You do have to do some challenges, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is, right? But like I said, I just found this update overall to be really disappointing. It doesn't really add much to it. It just adds snow to a map that you've already seen and already played and is tiny anyway. Doesn't really feel like Battlefield in a sense. And that's it. That's all the update is. And there's a bunch of challenges you can go and grind for to unlock cool cosmetics. Like, okay, that's great. I don't want to do that though. I don't want to grind a game that I don't really want to play to get, cosmetics and stuff Just give us new content, give us more stuff. And like I said, I think it just comes down to laziness more than anything. The fact that they chose one map to add this event to, and it's the smallest map in the game, and half of it is indoors, by the way. I didn't even mention that. Half of this map is indoors, so you don't even, like, the snow doesn't add anything because it doesn't change anything inside. And there's no decorations inside, no festive decorations, no changes to the actual building, just the snow. It's like they just added a snow filter over the map and that's it. It's a cool vibe, it looks nice, but man, it's just so disappointing, and again, it just feels so lazy. Mirak Valley would have looked incredible with snow. That map was designed practically for snow. You could have added snow on that with the huge outside sections when, you know, a couple fireplaces you'd have to run to. That would be great. Or like I said, even just make a brand new map and just give us something new, you know? But no, this is what we get, and it's just overall disappointing. And like I said, season 1 in general for me has been disappointing. It added 2 new maps to the game, 2 new maps in the first season. This game has been out for 3 months and we only have 2 maps added to a game that launched with only 7 maps. It's absolutely crazy. The lack of content in this game is seriously worrying. And at first, I was excited because this is the thing, right? Battlefield 6 has an amazing foundation for a Battlefield game. It is perfect. Okay, well, it's not perfect, but it does have a rock solid foundation. But it just feels like they're throwing that all away. The post-launch, once again, DICE just seems to not be able to keep up with. It's just a lack of maps, and the maps that came out weren't that good either. I forget what it's called, but Blackwell Fields. That map was just massively disappointing. Again, it was really small. It didn't feel like a proper Battlefield map. Air vehicles are just basically useless in it. I like the setting. I like the time of day with the sunset. That it, again, visually, it looks gorgeous. But the actual map, how it played, just wasn't that good. And then you had Eastwood, which I haven't played enough to make an opinion on. I played like 1 game on it. I thought it was okay, but again, nothing special. And that's it. That's all we've had for Season 1. This doesn't count as a new map because A, it's a map we already have, and B, it's a limited time event, and that's something else that I really wanted to talk about. Limited time events suck. Adding FOMO to your game, you know, making me feel as though I have to go and play this because if I don't, I'm going to miss out on the chance to experience this event and this map. That sucks, man. If you're going to remake a map, or not even remake a map, if you're just going to add a new snow layer onto the map, at least keep it in your game for good. Why add it as a limited time event? What is the point in that? What does that add? That just means in the long term, you're basically adding no content to this game. It just fucking sucks. And like I said, it would have been cool if they just made a brand new map that would be in the game forever. It comes out, you play it, and you don't have to rush and feel that FOMO. But again, they just added this limited time event, which just really sucks. And the main menu UI, oh my, it feels like it's getting worse and worse. So first of all, it just doesn't work. I don't know if it's this update. I didn't notice this before when I played Battlefield last, but I click the button to search for a match, or I click one of the little icons on the menu and it just doesn't do anything. It doesn't register. I'm sitting there spamming it. It doesn't work. I have to like go to the left and then click on one of the tabs again and then get it to click. Like, it's so broken. The menu just doesn't work. Not to mention how difficult it is to navigate. It's so messy and such a horrible design. Also, they can sell you these skins and they have more advertising room, which again is so anti-consumer and so just, it rubs me the wrong way so much. I hate this. And on top of that, it affects Portal as well. Don't even get me started on Battlefield Portal. That has so much potential, so much modding potential for people to be creative and make these cool game modes, but you're just letting it go to waste. You're not doing anything with it. There are so many cool game modes that people have spent time creating that are completely unique and transform the game and add a lot of gameplay to it. But you can't find them. You literally are unable to find them unless you go to like a subreddit and you're lucky and someone posted the code. You're not going to find it. Even then, you're lucky if you can host it, because half the time you can't set up a fucking server on Portal. And then if you do manage to set up a server, good luck getting anyone to join the fucking thing. Like, it's just a complete mess and just such a waste of potential. Now, to be fair, they have started fixing this a little bit. They're doing the bare minimum here. They've added featured game modes onto the main menu, and by featured game modes I mean one. It's like sniper versus runners or something right now. They have like one game mode that I guess is going to rotate every week or so. to kind of get people into playing these custom games, which is great, that's fine, but you need that on a much larger scale. If you want to have a custom game mode area like Fortnite or like Roblox or like any of these other huge games that do that, you need to support the community and you need your main menu to be navigatable so people can find these modes and actually host them. As it stands right now, Portal is just a complete waste because there's no point in these talented creators going out there and spending time making these modes if it just doesn't fucking work. And I think what just like pisses me off with all of this is that all of this lack of content that we're getting and this underwhelming content and all of this shit menu is because of skins, right? Okay, because the whole point, it all goes back to the battle pass, it all goes back to the grind, all the same shit. Because I know there's going to be people who watch this video and want to leave a comment and say, hey, you're so needy, you know, like why do you deserve more than this? This content is free, at least we're getting something for the winter. They didn't have to add a snowy map, at least they're doing it and you don't have to pay anything for it. Yeah, fair enough, I don't have to pay anything for it, but the trade-off here is that they sell me skins. Every time I launch the fucking game, I'm getting a new ad for the new battle pass and the new skin bundle that comes out. That's like the trade-off. Yes, I get free content, but every time I play, they're trying to sell me something new. Every fucking time. Now, I don't have to buy this, and I don't buy this, but the fact they're trying alone is the whole point of the trade-off. And the fact that this content that is coming out is so weak and so little and few and far between is a big issue for me, because you're selling me skins like fucking crazy over here. You're adding new content all the time to the shop, and yet we're not getting any actual new game content to go with it. So where is this trade-off going? Because I feel like I'm kind of getting fucked over. And again, that's kind of the point with live service in general. This is why I hate live service. I made a video like a year ago called DLCs Were Better, and this is why I still stand by that video. Because you want to sell me content, but you aren't putting the effort in, the post-launch effort to make new and interesting content, and that drives me crazy. And I haven't even got to the worst part yet. The worst part of all of this is I swear they have made the performance worse. Now, I know there were people at launch talking about how great Battlefield 6 runs. I don't know if you guys are on like NASA PCs or if you're just straight lying. It did not run well for me. This game I have always had issues with since day fucking one. I've had to put the graphics settings on low just to maintain a good FPS. And then about a month into launch, I found out that it's because there's a memory leak issue with the texture resolution. So if I have textures on low, but I crank everything else up to high, it works, which... First of all, how is that a thing? Second of all, like I said, this update has made it worse because that doesn't work anymore. Now I'm just getting stuttering and bugginess and FPS drops and memory leak issues. No matter what, I played for 2 hours and I was getting mad, insane memory leak issues. So I've had to turn the game just completely down to the lowest settings and I'm still having those issues. Now I thought maybe it's just a me issue, maybe my PC is just fucked and it's not accepting Battlefield for some reason, but I've been on the Steam discussions and there's other people having issues with the performance in this game still as well. It has not been fixed, it has not even been mentioned. The fact that, again, we are 3 months after launch, they have added new updates and new content and a store and a battle pass, the game still doesn't fucking run for half of us. And it's just unacceptable. Like, okay, I know I'm not on the highest end PC. I don't have a 5090 or any of that stuff. But my PC is good. It's a good mid to high range. I'm running on a 3070. This thing runs every AAA game at least on high settings, except for Battlefield. So I know that this is not acceptable. I wasn't expecting to run this game on like ultra or anything like that, but at least high, or at the bare minimum medium. But the fact I can't get anything out of this is just fucking, it is insane and ridiculous. And the optimization here is just such a shame. It's actually embarrassing for DICE. And it has super weird issues as well, where if I'm losing frames, if I try and play on a higher setting than my PC is allowed, I guess, it actually affects the server. Like, I start lagging in terms of server connection. Like, honestly, I'll actually start rubber banding around, my hit registration gets fucked up. I have never, ever in my life seen a game do this. I don't know what is going on with the source code of this game, but it just feels like it's held up by string. It just doesn't feel smooth. It doesn't work. Coming from a game like Arc Raiders, where I run that on ultra with no issues at all, the game performs flawlessly. And then go into Battlefield, where I'm having memory leaks, and it just feels like hit registration is still off, and I just can't do anything with it. The game just feels like it's literally held together with strings. I just had to take a break to go and get some water because I was starting to hurt my throat with the amount of ranting I've been doing here. But it's just crazy. Like, it's so crazy to me. This game launched with so much potential. It had such a strong foundation for a Battlefield game. But once again, DICE are just fucking up the post-launch. They just can't do live service. With underwhelming content, underwhelming map rate put out, and even their events are just straight underwhelming. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world, okay? And like like the point I just made, at least it's something, right? They're doing some sort of winter event. The map looks great. The snow looks amazing. But it just feels so lazy. And again, to have the nerve to try and sell us so many skins, so much in the battle pass. Every time I launch the game, it's just cluttered with shit that they're trying to sell you now. To have the nerve to do that, but then release such underwhelming content is just so fucking disappointing. Battlefield is one of my favorite game franchises of all time, and if they don't get their act together, if they don't step up and start getting on this live service stuff and making it actually better, addressing the issues with the UI and Portal, and also just fixing the optimization. Please, DICE, for the love of God, fix the optimization. This game doesn't run. That's why you're seeing this video in 1080p, because I literally can't record any higher than 1080p without the fucking thing crashing. So DICE, please fix your optimization, get your shit together. Season 2, I want to see better. I want to see more maps. I want to see bigger maps. I want to see community issues get addressed. You have to step your game up because this has the best foundation for a Battlefield game, but you are seriously dropping the ball here. And I don't mean to be like super negative. I get it. Making a game is hard. And the reason I'm even making this video is just because I love this franchise so much. I love Battlefield. I see the potential with Battlefield 6, and it's just so frustrating because they aren't living up to that potential, and it just feels like they're being so lazy, and all of the money and focus is being spent on skins and battle passes rather than the actual content itself, when it should be the other way around. So yeah, I guess I'm done with this rant. That's really all I had to say. I don't know, I'm just sad. I'm honestly just sad looking at the state of AAA right now, and like the industry, especially in the first person shooter space, is just genuinely depressing. But in light news, Arc Raiders just announced that their snow event is coming out soon, their winter event. That looks cool. I'm hoping that will be great, so I can't wait to check that out. But yeah, for now, thank you guys for watching. I hope you got something out of this. Be sure to leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've checked out this new season. And, am I wrong? If I'm wrong, call me out. Please, let me know. I want to hear all of your thoughts down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Jake, and I will see you next time.